It's TEDA Time.
Living in Terrebonne, living in Terrebonne. You sure won't want to miss it, and I'll bet that you'll revisit living in Terrebonne.
Local Terrebonne Parish Economic News.
And welcome to TEDA Time. I'm your host, Keith Weiss. I thank you so much for joining us. Very glad to have this wonderful event with TEDA Time and to have with us Mr. Cohen Guidry, Director of TEDA. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Man, this is an exciting time to be able to do this kind of program to celebrate TEDA and to celebrate Terrebonne.
It's very exciting for us. New show, very first segment, and it's something we've been looking forward to, and to help you guys planning it. And today we have a special guest. We have Miss Ann Piku with the Cultural Resource Center. She's the director there. Right. And some of the joint things that we're doing together and partnering in for downtown Homa.
Yeah, and a lot of exciting things, Ann, and welcome to the program.
Thank
so
you,
I'm glad
Keith.
that you're
Thank
here.
you.
Great introduction, by the way. I appreciate that. And so, Ann, one of those things that we've been kind of looking at and kind of developing, and kind of the demonstration day that we did a couple years ago.
Correct.
Now is the ability for us to maybe bring some of those things to fruition.
You're so correct. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. And as the first show, thank you, Cohen, for letting Main Street be part of this partnership and to get the word out. And we're excited. I know a lot of people, have a lot on their plate, and I know people feel that we're not moving fast enough downtown, but we are, Keith. We are moving downtown. And before the whole COVID situation and then item, we had done a demonstration day and the community came together. And so we took 2 days of downtown Main Street and we totally revamped it, if you remember.
I do. It was exciting.
It
by
was
the way, to be able
exciting,
to
and we
see
had
that
so many
option.
people that engaged in it on the public level, on the private level, and so forth. And from that, from the 2 days, we were able to collect a lot of data. And from there, a lot of the things that came back that the community was wanting to really see in their community to move forward was slowing down the traffic in downtown Homa. And so we're working on that, and administration's actually working with the state right now. So again, there's a lot of things behind the scene being done that people just don't see. So I would just ask that maybe they have a little bit more patience, but everybody is working diligently.
And one of those things about the state is that it's a state road.
It is.
We can't just change or make major structural changes to state roads without their input.
That's the biggest misunderstanding from
Right.
people, and they get upset. And so we all have to try to just, cushion them and explain to them that we are moving, but it takes time.
Takes some time.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
It was not. Neither was Homa.
No. So crosswalks was another thing that people engaged in. They wanted, they still want.
Right.
We're working with the Arts Council right now with a public-private partnership, even with private citizens. So I'm really excited that there are a lot of people that are not just saying things, but they're actually doing things. Lighting. We had a problem before Ida. We still have a problem.
Right.
But administration is working on that, and I'm very excited with that project. Sidewalks. We had gotten a grant prior to the whole COVID situation, and now that's finally for 2023 looking like it's going to come to fruition. So again, all these things that we've been working on are finally moving into their right little categories.
Right.
Property upkeep. A lot of people were concerned about property upkeep, and maybe Cohen would like to engage in tax credits and potential maybe working on grants.
Well,
That we were-
some of the programs that we've looked at, of course, coming into the new position, Keith, everybody comes to you with, I want. So you got to prioritize.
Sure.
And downtown Homa is a huge priority, not from just a destination place that people want to come to. We want to have them here, but we want to give them something to come to. So we got to look at the businesses. What can we bring downtown? But you got to have good lights. You got to have security. You've got to have a safe place for people to walk and everything. So it's a great effort from all aspects, from administration, from public safety, from home and downtown development, whatever TEDA can do. But for businesses coming into the parish, or opening downtown, they can already be existing into the parish. There are tax credits available. We have just recently made a significant investment in grant software to help us search not only at the state level, but federal. Something to go out, and then with the help of some of the grant writers in, because that's a whole language in itself. It's
Sure.
It's not just easy as
if you know how to write a grant, God bless you, because
Yes.
it's like reading legal documents, right?
or Latin,
Or pig Latin for that matter. But it's one of those things, and people who specialize in that and getting their help to get that accomplished.
Absolutely. So I think that, if we can sniff them out, we can find them, and we can kind of work with each one of the groups downtown and in the parish. We are happy to do that. That's one of the many services that we can offer to help people gain things. So,
Yeah, and like you mentioned, pulling that data and being able to figure out what will make things so much better. That the directional back angle parking is one of those things, makes a huge difference. Getting people on sidewalks and safe sidewalks with good lighting so that they can really come through. Because that's one of the things that I envision when I see our beautiful downtown Houma re-envisioned, people from out of town walking around just in a very safe sidewalk with very well lit lights, really being able to understand and embrace the culture and history of what Houma is and has to offer. That's what is great about our area. And I think that's what we want to be able to present to people. Talking about how all of these things can work, how TEDA is working together as we coordinate with Main Street and the Main Street projects. And Ann, let's talk about the importance of the partnerships that are so necessary to really get this back to where we want Main Street to be.
Keith, I'm glad you bring that up. Every year that we work on any project, or the last 20 years that I've worked on projects, the only way we move forward is through partnerships. Because if one organization thinks they can do it by themselves, they just can't. And why reinvent the wheel? If there's other organizations like TEDA or any other tourist commission that already have the avenues and the directions to move that ball forward, well, let's just all work together on that team. And so with all that being said, our parish administration has put money forward, as well as a lot of other nonprofit organizations, for us to create a master plan. And so it's my understanding that Parish President Dove and with TEDA and so forth have already have a company that's going to be rallying the troops to start that project.
Okay.
And so from that, we will all be working together to bring the public in. We'll have public meetings. We want people to engage. We want people to tell us what they want. I'm on the end of the totem pole, but they have other younger people coming in, and we want to know what people want. We want to keep our history. We want to keep our culture. We are good people. We're fun people, and we want to keep all that. We don't want them going to other states. We want them to stay right here.
Come here and visit. And the interesting thing that you bring up, and I like the fact that we want to know what people think, but we've been asking what people think for several years now.
Correct.
And it's really interesting. As soon as Cohen started with TEDA, people kept saying, "This is what I want." And so,
they weren't bashful.
No. People in South Louisiana aren't, but people at home really aren't.
Right.
And they'll be very glad to tell you what they think and they want. I love the fact that we have a new commission for downtown to really embrace listening to what the people want and pragmatically trying to figure out how we can do it.
Correct.
We can't really get everything we want. It's like Santa's wish list. You can't really have everything on your list.
Right.
And that spaceship that you want for Christmas may not be possible, but boy, maybe we can have some better parking downtown.
Correct.
Because that's a wish list we could certainly do something about. So those partnerships matter so very much. And we're really looking at the opportunities. Tell us a little bit about these streetscapes.
So we worked on that during the demonstration day. And if you remember, we had put out some temporary flowers and vegetation and stuff, which basically gives you what they call a bulb out. And so it lures the audience driving downtown to think that it's actually narrowing the path, but it's not. But it's all those diet plans that you do for a street to make it pedestrian friendly first. Keith, we get about 34,000 cars a day downtown. We get about 35,000 cars a day on Martin Luther King. They're getting economic development. We're getting through traffic. If we truly want to get economic development downtown, and we want this to be a place for people to visit and gather and shop and engage in conversation and make memories. We have to put pedestrians first. So that's another thing that this commission will be working on, is possibly how to redirect traffic. And I use that word possibly. That's on the list of things we're trying to achieve.
And again, it's just one of those things about looking at how is this going to work? How well will it work? And is it going to help us achieve the goal of people really being able to enjoy downtown?
And we're not the first ones to do it. Other communities have been doing it, and they've been very successful. And so we either want to move forward as a community and give people those things, or we don't. Maybe that's not what HOMA wants. But if HOMA wants to compete with the youth, we educate them, and then they go elsewhere. Then we need to bring them back and give them the things they want. Kayaks, kayak launches, bike lanes, things like that. They like to be outside. They want their animals and pets to be just right on the side of them, as they do with their children and other loved ones.
And, you know, some of the statistics show that a huge percentage of those people are actually working from their own environments.
Yes.
Not necessarily from home. Maybe they want to do that in the park. Maybe they can work on their computer if they're connected as such, and most of them are, with their pet right next to them, sitting in the park that's well lit, that they're comfortable in, that's got these beautiful foliage and flowers around them, and we're attracting everybody back to downtown.
Correct.
And that's a two-way street, though, Keith. It's going to take the administration and the groups to make it worth coming for, but it's also going to take the public to say, I want to, instead of going to shop on Martin Luther King, let's go downtown and see what they've got for events, for live music, for any of these things. So I think it's a great mesh as time comes together with people coming together. It's going to take a effort from each side, from the community and from the administration in downtown Houma.
And the committee is that meeting in between.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Of being able to say, this is what we can do, you know, tell us what you want to do, and let's find a way to do that together.
Correct.
It's about bringing that group together to be able to do that. And I like the fact that the people have a vote. They have a say, but they also need to step up and come,
Absolutely.
right?
Right.
It's
We can't just
absolutely-
say, you know, I want this, I want this, I want this, and then don't do it.
Right.
We've got to commit to it.
Correct.
You know, we've got a lot of wonderful things to do with the bandstand and a lot of different options that we're really already on the path to improving. Those things are already in place. So I love the fact that these partnerships, along with TEDA, are trying to figure out how do we move forward with that? How do we keep going? And that meshing, if you will, it's a great term, of being able to come together and figure out what people want, how do we get it, and how do we all enjoy it? Talking about the partnerships that are existing and what we're trying to do, really the ultimate goal, and here, is to improve the quality of life for people everywhere.
Everywhere.
To enjoy downtown Houma. It's not just about Houma. It's for people to really be able to enjoy what we have to offer in downtown Houma.
That's correct. And with leading into that, we applied for a grant. It's called the Levitt Foundation. They're out of Los Angeles, and we made it from, there was like 50 or 60 applicants to the top 20. And now we're in the running for the top 10. 10 groups, 10 cities have an opportunity to win $90,000 over 3 years. And that's for cultural music. So it's free, guys. It doesn't cost you anything but a minute of your time. So if they could go to our Houma Main Street, there's plenty of information out there. There's
Facebook page, right?
on Facebook page.
Right.
There's a QR code. You just basically click it. It brings you straight to the text message, and it says love, L-U-V, Houma. Hit send, and then you voted. And it's strictly on how much people want to engage in their community and show that spirit. And that's a perfect opportunity for people to say, I want to get involved. I want community spirit, and have something to do at no charge to them.
Right. And it's much like Cohen was talking about earlier. This is a way for the public to be able to get involved.
That's right.
This is the starting point of saying, you know what, who doesn't want $90,000 over 3 years as a grant?
Right.
Given, it's kind of free money, if you
Right.
will. You've earned it. right? You've earned it because of the value that our people can show that we want. So it's
That's-
wonderful. So again, they can go to Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
And it is
Homa Main Street.
Homa Main Street.
Yes, sir.
And go on the QR code and just put
Click
Love
it.
Homa.
Click
Love
it,
Homa.
Love Homa.
It's easy.
Yes.
So if you love Homa, go love Homa.
Love.
That's
yes.
the way to do that.
Very well.
Very good. How else are we able to do that to be able to increase with this quality of life and some of the events that are coming?
Well, we've been very fortunate. We've been having a lot of private citizens come forward. And this year, one was started with all private citizens, and it's called Luminate Downtown Homa.
Mm-hmm.
If people are familiar with the downtown area, we have a fountain. Some people call it the Memorial Park.
Right.
Some people call it the Fountain Park.
Right.
And so it's always the second Saturday, Keith, from 5:30 to 8:30 in the downtown area. And we have live entertainment. We partner with the Arts Council, so we have artists demonstrating as well as painting out there.
Oh, wow.
And then before we end, we talk about all in the downtown area, any entertainment that's going on. So again, it's that partnership working together. And it's just an outdoor concert. Come visit. Kids can run around.
Second Saturday. So the
Second
second
Saturday.
Saturday every month, right there at the where the fountain is. And everybody knows where the fountain is. Doesn't matter
and-
what we call it.
And if I can add one thing, what I
Please.
think is so amazing, Keith, is that these folks got together and got candles. Now they're the little, LED candles.
Right.
But at night it adds a whole nother essence, and it's just beautiful and amazing.
Yeah, it really does illuminate
Yes.
when they're there. But it does two things. There's live music. People can go out and enjoy the music, and they talk about other music that's coming.
Correct. And
So-
they engage, and we lost that for 2 years.
Right.
So that's engagement of just meeting your friends, making new friends, and it helps with anxiety, depression, and everything else.
Absolutely. And working on all these things to make it nice and easy for people to walk over there and do that. Walkways, crosswalks.
Keeping it clean.
Yeah, keeping it clean, having it well lit. All of the things that we're talking about, what our goal is down the road for people to have to drive there now can maybe walk there soon.
And it's important. It is super important to have all those pieces, because I think the old saying is, "Build it and they will come." Well, show your interest that you want to come, and we'll do our best to get it built. And it wasn't like Ann said, wasn't built in a day, but it won't get repaired and brought back up to standard or where we want it in a day. But as a community, I think it's a great starting foundation for us to get downtown Homa where we want to see it.
Right. And we're already having some of those events that we're excited about
Absolutely.
hearing, and some of those concerts like you're mentioning. Bicentennial is also kind of happening as well.
Arts Fest on the 19th, and
Right.
then our Christmas festival that we have every year. And Mr. Cohen's going to end with a special event this Friday.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. We got a flyer that we want to kind of share with people. So Jen, bring that up if you don't mind.
So Friday is National POWMIA Day, and we're remembering all the way back to the start of this. This foundation was put together to remember the POWs and MIAs all the way back to World War II.
Right.
And it's something that we can never forget as a country. They gave the ultimate sacrifice. And so we're going to have an event of flag raising at the Courthouse Square Friday at noon, Friday the 16th.
Friday, September 16th.
September 16th.
At 12 noon.
At noon.
Right.
And I think you guys might be there with us.
HTV is very proud to be able to join you in standing together to celebrate all of those people who truly, a lot of those gave the ultimate sacrifice in their
That
lives.
is fantastic.
For
And
our- for
I
our
hope
freedom.
every veteran that gets it, that sees this, shows up, and non-veteran.
Yeah.
It's a subject that's very near and dear to my heart, and I hope it is to everybody else too. So let's get as many people for standing room only, and if we have to shut down traffic to fit everybody, well, we'll figure that out.
That's exactly right. That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely.
And so this, I got to tell you, has been a very exciting experience for TEDA Time with all of the things going on. So, Ann, thank you for being our special and first
Yes,
guest.
thank you. Thank you.
Got to be nice to be considered the first. And
Yes.
So, a very powerful moment here as
Yes,
we
very special.
introduce TEDA Time. So, Cohen, very exciting for everything going on with TEDA, and excitement for Terrebonne Parish and all the things that we have to offer, and for all the work that y'all are doing and coordinating and pulling together all that data for the last several years about bringing people what they want. Very exciting time. And so we appreciate it.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you for
both
having
joining
us.
Thanks for having us.
And that will do it for this particular segment of TEDA Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.